to do something to acknowledge the 10th anniversary of Women and Hollywood, I wanted it to be a celebration because we spend so much time in our work calling attention to how much things need to change. In fact, our website says, Hollywood is broken, especially for women. We're working to fix that. The broken Hollywood that many of us in this room see on a daily basis is on global display since the news about how Harvey Weinstein sexually harassed and assaulted women for decades broke 2 weeks ago. Good riddance. As Emma Thompson said, he is the tip of the iceberg. These last 10 days have unmoored the industry. There has been a tectonic shift, and with it, a real opportunity for systemic change. I've spent hours doing radio and TV interviews, and the questions, of course, were about how someone could get away with this for 30 years. But also, which is like, really? But also about 30 years. But also about what we can do to change the business. While it saddens me that we were having this conversation as a result of women suffering, the fact that we were having a global conversation about sexual harassment, toxic masculinity, and the institutional sexism that envelops the industry is much needed. The industry must change in many fundamental ways. This is about the lack of opportunities for women in every area. It's about the lack of access to capital. It's about the casting sites that require women to wear tight t-shirts, even though that has nothing to do with the part. It's about how even women at the tippy top of the business still report to men. It's about how women's voices are discounted. It's about how women disappear when they turn 40. It's about how few parts there are for women of color and how there are even fewer opportunities for women of color to direct or write. It's about how the cultural narrative is white and male-centric. For the first several years of Women in Hollywood, it felt like I was yelling into the abyss, and some people here heard my screams. But in the last couple of years, people began to pay attention. Everyone knew Patty Jenkins directed Wonder Woman this past summer, and why this fact was noteworthy. None of this would be possible without people who support your vision. There would be no Women and Hollywood without Barbara Dobkin. She trusted what I was doing, and I am forever grateful to her. And I am grateful to all the sponsors who you see on the screen behind me, and to all the people who believed in me, including Marie Wilson, who saw the earliest incarnation of the concepts that later became Women in Hollywood while we were at the White House Project. Catherine Colbert, Kitty, who trusted my vision and became my partner on the Athena Film Festival, which has grown into a valuable asset to the conversation on women in leadership. And my friend and cheerleader, Nancy Schwartz-Sternoff, who has read everything before anyone else. Gotta have one of those. There are many women and one guy who have been a part of Women in Hollywood 7. He was a really good writer, and he wanted to do it, and we're totally open for that. I am grateful to all of them for helping us get to this place. I want to give a special shout out to Laura Berger. Laura, you in the room? Can't see anything in my glasses. Back there. Who got in touch with me a few years ago and asked if I needed an intern. I said there was no way I could manage it, and she promised I could. She was right, and now she runs the day-to-day of the site as senior editor, along with Rachel Montpeller. Oh, I said that wrong. Sorry, Rachel. Who is the editor, and Marina Weber, who handles our social media. All three started as interns. People ask me all the time why I do this work, why I am so passionate about it, especially because I'm not looking to get a job in the business. But I'll take some offers. I do this work because I believe that we are desperate for diverse stories from diverse points of view. Because stories are how we connect to one another. They are our cave paintings. People still watch movies from decades ago with as much passion as they watch films released last week. And there are still so many stories that are missing, So many are hungry for different perspectives, which can explain why Hidden Figures became such a hit and why Wonder Woman has now grossed $821 million worldwide. And that was like 5 days ago, so it could be like at 850 now. This issue is personal for everyone in here. I know that we are all reeling from the last week, but now is the time, more than ever, for us to come together as a community to push for real systemic change. This won't be easy. In fact, I think it will probably get worse before it gets better. But we all know this is so important. And I promise to take this message to our events in LA next week and in London next month, that Women in Hollywood will continue to be at the forefront of this fight, and I call on everyone here to be part of making real substantive change in Hollywood. Please enjoy this video that will give you an overview of the last decade of women and Hollywood through Women in Hollywood.
Cool.